Good day everyone, and today we are going to do the house of quality. The house of quality is a diagram resembling a house used for defining the relationship between customers' desires and the firm/product capabilities. Now this house of quality is part of the quality function deployment, and it utilizes a planning matrix to relate what the customer wants to how a firm that produces the products is going to meet those wants. So with the diagram in front of us, this is just an empty house of quality, and the top portion, which is the roof, is the technical correlation matrix, where it looks at the technical requirements of your product and how correlated those requirements are. This portion of your diagram, it records the customer requirements or the customer wants, and in the middle here, basically, it will include an interrelationship matrix. We are also, the bottom portion of the house of quality would look at competitors as well as the organizational difficulty. But when I construct this, you would be able to see the different sections clearer. So just to reiterate, this is the roof that looks at it. It's a technical correlation matrix. This is our targets. We will set all our targets at the bottom here. In the middle here would be the interrelationships. This records the customer requirements or the customer wants. And at the right hand side of the diagram, we would look at, it's a planning matrix where we would look at the competitors as well. All right, and basically we would look at the customer's voice. We'd listen to what the customers have to say. So let us construct a house of quality for a simple product, which is a pizza. And I'm also going to use a very simple example just for you all to understand how to construct the house of quality. So step number one in designing the house of quality is to record the voice of the customer. We are going to answer the question what the customer wants or the needs of the customers. All right, so this here would be the customer requirements. So this would be basically the what's. So for a pizza, let us assume that the customers, they reported that maybe taste is important to them, so we will put taste. Another requirement is high nutrition, so we will put high nutrition as another customer requirement. Visual appeal, so you want a pizza that is actually visually appealing. And we'll finalize this with basically just good value for money. Good value. So we have recorded 4 customer requirements. All right, and again, this information would be derived from your customer surveys. Now this next step, after we have recorded the customer requirement, is to rank their importance. So we will use this column to rank the importance ratings. All right. Assuming that we use a scale of 1 to 4, where 1 would be low of the lowest importance here, and 4 would have been the highest in the level of importance. All right. So we're assuming that from our marketing survey, taste got a score of 4 because that was extremely important to them. Good value was also the second most important thing based on the customers, so we put that as a 3. High nutrition 2, and visual appeal was the least of their concerns. All right, so this is the order of importance for their customer requirements. Now, the second step in building the house of quality is to translate the customer requirements into technical descriptors. So basically, while this section recorded the voice of the customer, this section is going to record the voice of the engineer. So it's going to answer all of the hows. All right, hows is the design requirements. How can we design a product that will meet these customers' requirements? So therefore, we are going to record all of the technical requirements given the wants of the customer. So some of the things that we may consider would be price. All right, so we must consider price when we are creating our pizza. Also size. The size of the pizza is also important. All right, so when we are, making this pizza, baking this pizza and whatnot, we have to consider size. We could also look at the type of topping. So I'll put that here. And lastly, maybe the amount of topping. Now there are several other things we could look at there, but this is just a simple version just to illustrate the house of quality. So this is type of topping and this is amount of topping. Right. The next step now is to complete the relationship matrix. Basically what we need to do is examine the relationship between the design requirements or the technical descriptors as well as the customer requirements. And at the middle here of the house of quality is where we are going to record the relationship matrix. Now in order to do this, we have a key with some symbols. So it would be easy to show the relationship, the strength of the relationship between customer wants as well as the design requirements. All right. So we use the star to demonstrate a very strong relationship. We use this circle to demonstrate a strong relationship and a triangle to demonstrate a weak relationship. And they all have values attached to them. So very strong is 9, strong is actually equal to 3, and weak is actually equal to 1. So all we're going to do is simply look at taste, high nutrition, visual appeal, and good value and see whether or not they are related to the design requirements at the top. So let's look at the first one, taste. Is taste related to price? Is it correlated to price? All right, so maybe not. I would say that taste is all about ingredients and maybe skills and of the chef and whatnot. So I mean this could be also argued, but in the interest of time I will just say no relationship, so I'll leave it blank. What about taste and size? Does size influence taste and does taste influence size? For me, I would say not really. But what about the type of topping and taste? So I am assuming here that the type of topping will influence taste. So I will put a very strong relationship, which is a star. And then what about the amount of topping that you use? Will that influence taste? Is there a relationship? I would say yes, there is a relationship. Maybe it's a weak relationship, but there is somewhat of a relationship there, because if you don't use enough topping, then it might taste bland. All right. So now we're moving on to the second want, which would be the high nutrition. And again, is high nutrition related to price? Well, nutritive values, I don't know, could be like fats and proteins and health and whatnot. And I'm not too sure. I'm just gonna leave that blank, all right? Because I don't think money or price can influence the nutrition there for now. But some can argue that yes, based on the price, you can actually include high, ingredients that has a high nutritive value and whatnot. But for now, I will just leave it blank. What about high nutrition and size? I would demonstrate a weak relationship Because if you don't get enough of what you're eating, then it will impact on the overall nutritional value of what the person would be able to extract from the meal. So if you get a very small piece of pizza, then you will not get enough nutrition versus if you get a large piece of pizza and so on. So I'll just put a weak relationship, not very strong, but just weak. In terms of the type of topping, will that impact on nutrition? I would say strong, right? Because based on what topping you use, the mix of toppings you use is actually strongly related to what nutrition it offers. All right, whether if you use cheese for proteins and fats and different forms of veggies and pineapple and fruits and so on to increase the nutritional value. So yes, the type of topping is strongly correlated to high nutrition versus something like price. And then for the amount of topping, I would also say that there is a correlation. So strong, I'll leave it as strong, not very strong, but strong. Because the amount of what you put in the pizza would also influence the end nutritive value. Okay, so let's kind of move quicker now. Visual appeal. Visual appeal, is it related to price? Not really, so I'll leave that blank. Is it related to size? I would say yes. Strong. Because, you know, some persons may find that if the pizza is large enough, it will be appealing to them. All right, so larger might be better. What about the type of topping? Will it influence visual appeal? I would say yes, the type of topping you use. All right, so I'll just leave it as strong. Because the different types of toppings, however you layer them and put them together, may give a different end product. And lastly, the amount of topping. Will that influence visual appeal? I would say strong correlation, because if you have a pizza with just few items in it, you know, the demand may not be as strong as high as if you had a pizza that's laden with, you know, a type of topping that is also appealing to the customer as well. So both type and amount could impact visual appeal. Lastly, in terms of value, all right, good value, I would say value is strongly correlated to price. Good value is strongly correlated to size. Weakly correlated to the type of topping, so hence I'll put a triangle. And for the amount of topping, I would also say strong correlation. So again, this is just my interpretation. However, other persons will hold different views as to the correlation that exists. I'm not no expert in the manufacturing of pizzas or anything like that. All right, this is just for illustrative purposes. Now that we have our customer requirements, our design requirements, and our relationships, all right, recorded, we can now compute the absolute importance. So this row here would be absolute importance, and all we are going to do is just multiply the value of the importance by the relationship value, all right, to get a final total. So for example, under price, we have nothing here, nothing here, nothing. And we have a 3, right? So 3 means that good value, the importance rating of good value is 3. We established that before, and it now has a star. This star is equal to 9. So the value of the very strong is equal to 9. So all we do is multiply 9 by 3, right? So we just convert this star back to its actual value. 9 by 3 will give us a total of 27. So the absolute value of price is 27. So I will just repeat it for size, just for you again for practice. All right? So to get the absolute importance of size, we take 2 multiply by 1, because 1 is weak, right? 1 is the value of the triangle, plus This circle equals 3, and 3 is multiplied by 1, plus this star we know is 9, and you multiply it by 3. And you get a total of 32. So you can take some time on your own and just recalculate these just to see that you understand how the absolute importance figures were derived. 60, and when this was computed, we'll get 28. Now that we have the absolute importance, it's easy for us to look at the relative importance, which is just ranking. All right, we're going to simply rank what is important in terms of the design. So under the design, price is 27, size is 32, type of topping scored at 60, and the amount of topping scored 28. So which one you feel would be the most important design requirement here for the engineer to think about? So 60 is the highest number, so this came first. So the type of topping, all right, is of extreme importance when designing your pizza. The second important thing would be 32. That's the second highest number, and that also relates to size. So this came second. Right, so amount of topping came third. And the fourth criteria here is price. All right, so when you're designing the pizza, the concentration on the type of topping and the size is more important than figuring out amount and price based on this matrix. All right? Okay, now the next step is for us to look at the relationship whether there's a relationship in the design requirements themselves. All right? So I'm going to use this key, all right, to demonstrate the relationship that could exist amongst the design criterions, all right? And we're going to use the roof to demonstrate that. This is the roof of the house, right? So let's start. Let's look at the key first. I would use a dot to show whether a strong relationship, a strong positive relationship exists. 2 pluses is if there's a positive relationship, and 1 plus sign will if there is a weak positive relationship. And if there's no relationship, well, we'll just leave it blank. All right? So let's look at price. This is price. Right. So I'm going to show you now using my pen here. All right? This is price. So we go right up on price to see where it meets with size. So you can see price and size meets at this block here. This is where they meet. So that's where we would record the relationship. Wherever price and size intersects, that's where we will record the relationship. All right? So, do we believe that price and size is related? I would think so. All right? Because, naturally, when you go into a pizza store, a small pizza has a lower price than a large pizza. So I think that there's a positive relationship. So I'll put 2 pluses, all right? Strongly positive, not too sure, but positively, definitely. Let's now look at price and the type of topping. Do we think that is related? All right, so this is type of topping here, and it intersects price at this jump, all right, this square. I would say strong correlation, strong relationship, man. All right, yes, based on the type of topic you choose, it will impact how much you pay. And then lastly, does price influence or related to the amount of topping? Well, I would say yes. Not strong, but just positive. All right, so based on if you want some extra toppings or whatnot, you may have to pay accordingly. So amount. Okay, so let's move on to size. So is size related with type of topping? Not really. I don't think the type of topping, whether if you use pineapple or bacon or what have you, will influence the size of the pizza. and vice versa. All right, but what about size and the amount of topping? I would say yes, that is a strong correlation. So size and amount of topping, strong correlation, because if you have a large pizza, then you'll get more toppings than a smaller pizza. And then lastly, do we think that the type of topping would influence or be related to the amount of topping? Not necessarily. So I'll leave that blank. All right, so the type of topping and amount of topping, I would say no relationship exists. So this, therefore, this is the roof of our house. So it looks at, again, the relationship between the different variables involved in the design requirements. Okay, so let's now look at another step. The next step is for us to look at the competitors, the customers' ratings of our competitors now. All right? So this is where we would look at the customers' ratings of the competitors, as well as how they compare the competitors to us. All right? So I'm simply going to put us. This is our business. One of our competitors could be Pizza Hut, so I'll put PH. And maybe another competitor can be Mario's, so I'll put M for Mario's. Now, what we're going to do is simply look at how customers, their perception of the competitors in terms of the customer requirements. All right, so we're going to look at their perception of what the competitors offer, as well as our company, right? How well do they, deliver on these customer requirements here, what they require. So we are going to use this key, right, to record our competitive scores. So this key is G is good. So if the business, the Pizza Hut, Mario's, or ourselves, all right, we deliver good on taste, we give them a G, and G equals 3. Fair would be 2, denoted by an F, and P is 4, and it's a score of 1. All right? So let's quickly, again, this could be argued there because you all would have different preferences, but just in the interest of time, I will do something kind of quick. So, taste. Well, let's just say that we have a good taste, so I put G. We deliver well on high nutrition, so I put another G. Our company does fairly well on visual appeal, so I'll put a F. And lastly, our company delivers great in value for money, so I'll also put a G. Let's look at Pizza Hut now. Let's look at their taste. Do we agree that their taste is good, fair, or poor? Well, I'll just put poor for my liking. All right? In terms of high nutrition, all right, so I'll give them a fair rating on high nutrition. Again, this is customers' ratings. So all of this you would have gotten that from your customer surveys. All right? It's supposed to be derived from the customer's views, your market survey. Visual appeal. Pizza Hut. I'll give them a good rating for their visual appeal. But what about value? I'll give them a fair. Right? So I think they could do a better job in giving you a better overall pizza for your money. And let's look at Mario's now. So I'll give Mario's a G for taste, a F fair for high nutrition. Right? I think they could do a better job in lowering the fat content and what have you. Visual appeal, excellent, so I'll give them a G. And good value, I'll give them a fair. Alright? So this is just the competitive scores, the competitive ratings, and now we not need to convert these into absolute scores. So if G is 3, F is 2, and P is 1, we simply just add up the total. Alright, so 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 gives us 11. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 gives us 8. And we do the same for Mario's and we get 9. So we can just see from this diagram that our company delivers well, and it, in terms of what the customers require. Alright, so their views showed us that we are on top with respect to delivery of what the customer really requires overall in that pizza. All right, so now in this row, we are going to look at our organizational difficulty. All right, in terms of how easy or how difficult it is for our business to be able to deliver a good price, to offer a price that consumers are satisfied with, and to also satisfy consumers and the organizational ability to produce an appropriate size of pizza, have the necessary stock to deliver types of toppings that consumers require, and also to have the amounts. All right, so this row simply looks at our organizational capability. All right, how easy or difficult it is to match up to these design requirements. All right, to offer or deliver on those design requirements. So I mean, just say for our business, in terms of price, are we able to offer a price that we would be able to make a profit and still satisfy consumers? I mean, because we're using a scoring scale, a rating scale of 1 is easy and 5 is difficult. All right, so 1 is easy, it's very easy for us to do so, and 5 means it's very difficult for us to do so. So I would say maybe 2, it's fairly easy for us to offer a price that is not going to, that a price is actually going to attract customers. All right, size, I would say fairly easy. I can't say what's so difficult in terms of size. Type of topping, all right, so yes, in Trinidad I would say, because we have so many farmers and what have you, it's easy to get the type of topping, so I put very one. Again, our organizational, because we have good, let's assume that we have good credit arrangement with our farmers and our suppliers, very easy to get what we want, so 1. All right, and the next thing that we have to do now is record our targets. So I'm going to put targets here, and the targets is basically, we're going to do a technical evaluation with the ability of our company to reach those targets matched against that of the competitors as well. All right, so we need to set the targets first. So the targets are based on the design requirements. So in terms of price, I would set a target of maybe $100 for a pizza. In terms of size, I would say a 12-inch target. In terms of the type of topping, I would say maybe the target should be that every pizza should have 3 types of toppings, and the amount of topping, I would put it as 3 cups. All right, in total each pizza may have 3 cups of toppings. So this will be our targets, right? What each pizza is must entail. And now we are going to rate our company, which is us, Pizza Hut, PH, and Mario's, on their ability to meet those targets. So I would use a circle for us, all right, as a symbol. Pizza Hut would be looked at as a square, and Mario's, we would give them a triangle. All right, okay. Now in order to score how our ability to achieve those targets, we are going to use a rating scale of 1, which is low, and 5, which is high. So I'm going to put it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and we get 5 is high, 1 is low. And this is the ability to achieve targets. All right, so let's look at us, our company. Do you think we have a very high ability to deliver a good price? I would say, well, yes, we know what we are capable of. So if it's 5, We make sure we put it on the column that reads 5. So on price, we put, all right. Let's go again. What about Pizza Hut and their ability to offer a good price? I would say Pizza Hut price is kind of high, so I would give them a 2. So I put them here. And Mario's, I'll give them a 3. So I put them here. Remember, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we scored the highest on price. Pizza Hut scored 3. Mario's scored 3. And a score of 2 was given to Pizza Hut. Alright, so now we're going in the next thing. The next criteria here, which is size. Well, I think everybody can achieve the size target pretty well because it's just what? 12 inches. Alright, so yeah, I'll put we'll put our company here, we'll put Pizza Hut, and we will put the triangle. Alright, which is Mario's. So we all got 5 because we all can create a 12-inch pizza easily. Alright, let's look at the next target. Type of topping. Which of us here is easy for our ability to offer 3 types of toppings? So I would say in our company, it's difficult for us to offer 3 types of toppings. Alright, so I would put us, not difficult, I would say it's easy, but there might be some challenges in terms of seasonality. So because of that, I would not give a 5, I would actually give a 4. So in terms of type of topping for our company, I would give it a 4. So 4 would come underneath here, and it would be a O. That's our company. In terms of type of topping for Mario's, I would give them a 5. Very easy for them to give you 3 types of topping, which is the target. And then for Pizza Hut, I will give them a 3. Alright, so that's a 3 here. And then last target is 3 cups. 3 cups of toppings. So I would say for us it is quite difficult to offer, not for us, for Pizza Hut, sorry, to give 3 cups of toppings. They don't always do that, so I give them a 1. Mario's, I give them a 2, because I don't think you get 3 cups of topping when you purchase their pizza. And for our company, well, I'll put it as a 3. So we kind of reach close to the 3 cups, if there's anything. Alright, so again, just to go over this part, in terms of the price of $100, we can offer pizza for $100. So that's why I give this a number 5. Alright, so I scored it as 5. Whereas Mario's and Pizza Hut, it's not a regular occurrence to see that you can get a large 12-inch pizza at $100. For $100 with all of the toppings and what have you, it would actually be more. So that's why I gave Mario's a 3 and Pizza Hut a 2. Alright, so this is just the classification of how our competitors' ability to reach or achieve those targets. So right here we can see, we could just simply draw a line to connect where our company is in relation to our competitors. And this is the House of Quality. I thank you.